Welcome to another trip down the Bourbon Road with your hosts, Jim and Mike. So grab a glass of your favorite bourbon and kick back.
Hey, this is Big Chief, and you're listening to the Bourbon Road. You know what I love to pour in my old fashions is a little maple syrup. Can't be just any maple syrup. It has to be from Seldom Seen Farms up in Ohio. He takes bourbon barrels, pours his syrup in there, and ages it for 6 to 9 months, making for some delicious syrup that you could pour on pancakes. You could pour it on waffles, chicken and waffles like this fat guy likes. But seriously, you want to make a delicious cocktail with some maple syrup and not that old simple syrup. Check out seldomseenmaple.com. Pick up some stuff from there today. We'd appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Shannon.
And I'm Mike Hyatt.
This is the Bourbon Road. And Mike, today we're standing in Bardstown, Kentucky, on the big lawn here in front of Spalding Hall at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. How excited are you?
I'm pretty dang excited. We were here all day yesterday on Friday. You came on Thursday night. Got to eat pretty good. We got VIP passes, obviously. So we ate, we drank yesterday. We ran into so many of our great friends here, so many great distilleries. It's nice to walk around and people will be like, hey, Jim, hey, Big Chief. But we're seeing everybody. If you didn't get to make it to this year's Kentucky Bourbon Festival here in Bardstown, Kentucky, make sure you get your tickets for 2023. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be walking around today, interviewing people, so stay with us. We'll have some exciting guests on, some voices that you've heard before, some guests you've heard before. Jim, it's about time to go get something to eat, though, isn't it?
I'm ready to eat a little something and build in that buffer for when we start drinking all that whiskey.
Well, you know how you got to ride that wave, and make sure, listeners, that you go back and read that article that I wrote about how to drink and hydrate yourself properly. Go to our website, read that article, prepare yourself to drink whiskey right.
All right, I'm ready for a great day, Mike.
So we're in here inside the VIP tent, and I might have found the best drink at the Bourbon Festival this year. It's a sweet bourbon tea. You know the fat man loves his sweet tea, being from the South. So I got with me who?
My name's DJ Martinez from Distilled Living.
Now tell us what's inside that sweet tea.
Well, the great thing about it is you don't really need to mess with the good thing, so that is just good old-fashioned sweet tea and bourbon. And for this round, yesterday we used the Old Forester 100, and today's going to be that Michter's bourbon.
Man, it is amazing. Make sure next year you get here, come over here, get that sweet bourbon tea. It's delicious. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Heck yeah.
So like I said, we're walking around, we're running into people we know, and I see Ed from Bourbon Obsession. If you haven't seen his beautiful photos, his beautiful content on Instagram, on Facebook, you need to check it out. Ed, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks for the plug.
Yeah. So what do you already got something in your glass. What are you drinking?
Michter's 10-year-old rye.
Michter's 10-year-old rye. You're telling me that you could come to the Bourbon Festival and drink Michter's 10-year-old in this VIP tent?
Yes, you can.
And they got Weller 12. They got all kinds of great bottles, right?
They do. It's amazing. Had a little Stag Junior earlier. Definitely worth it.
Have you and your wife been having a great experience here this year?
Of course. We always do.
Now, what do you think they did better this year than they did in the past?
Well, I mean, the obvious is sort of the way more distilleries and so much more to try. I mean, that has been like a huge improvement. And it just seems like everything's going more smoothly in general.
Yeah, the wristbands are a little bit different this year where you don't really have to worry about tickets. You can put a credit card on your wristband. I thought that was nice and stuff. The VIP is a little bit different. Last year it was up in the third floor of Spalding Hall. This year it's out in an air-conditioned tent, though, with a really nice bathroom in the back. So that's nice. Well, every distillery has almost every one of their expressions this year. Super beautiful, super cool weather, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, a little hot in the sun.
Yeah. Last year, though, it had rained, and it was just muddy mess. They put Strail down, but it still didn't work. But what a wonderful event. I hope you and your wife get to enjoy and experience everything here.
Thank you. Actually, you just reminded me of last year. I forgot about all that mud and walking across the fields trying to stay on the hay and everybody being, that was this is a huge improvement from that.
Well, like I said, check out Ed and his content on Instagram. It's Bourbon Obsessed, right, Ed?
Yeah, on Instagram it's bourbon_obsessed.
And do you have a website also?
I do. It's bourbonobsessed.com. And we write up distilleries as well as have bourbon and whiskey reviews.
I would say, listeners, Ed's one of my favorite people that do content. It's straight from the heart. It's nothing made up. No. It's not a bunch of paid content. It's just about bourbon and whiskey and the love for whiskey.
Yeah, mainly paid for by me.
Well, Ed, we'll see you on down to Bourbon Road.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much.
So we're walking around the craft section here at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and one of our favorite whiskeys of 2022, a great brand, is Broken Barrel. I'm with Seth. And Seth, how is it going this year?
Oh man, yesterday was wild. Day 2's been already pretty busy. It's heating up, but that's also because we got 115 proof bourbon out here. So things are getting wild. It's going to be a good day, I think.
Now, yesterday you let me and Jim try 2 special bottles.
I did.
What were those?
So yesterday I poured you guys a sample of our Luciferous American Single Malt, which was a nice private barrel pick for a club out in Northern California. And then we also did the Honey Smoke, which is another barrel we did. It's a mezcal and honey finished rye whiskey at 101 proof, and that has been probably our most well-received limited edition to date. Absolutely, people going crazy over that. It's been a blast selling that one.
So let me get it. Not only did you do honey, but you did smoked.
Mezcal
Oh
barrels.
my God, it was so good. People, if you see that on the shelf, if you can get yourself a bottle, make sure you grab it. Make sure you grab some of Seth's amazing whiskey.
Yeah, Broken Barrel. I mean, definitely give us a follow, brokenbarrelwhiskey.com, or check out our Instagram at Broken Barrel Whiskey.
All right, Seth, I guarantee you, roadies, you're going to hear a lot more from Seth in the future on the Bourbon Road.
Absolutely.
All right, Seth, we'll see you on down the Bourbon Road, brother. So I ran into Mark Rucker from the Bourbon Life, one of the best podcasts on the scene today. You're doing great content. You're doing it right, like we try to do.
Thanks.
Right?
Yeah.
So you were here yesterday. What was the best bourbon that you had yesterday here at the
You know
Bourbon
what?
Festival?
At the 4:30 event, the James B. Beam Distilling engagement thing at 4:30 in the Great Tent, they had the Knob Creek 18. So I was able to sample a little bit of that. Man, it was fantastic. Even at 100 proof, it drank much hotter to me. It drank like a higher proof bourbon. But I'm a big Knob Creek fan. Matt got me hooked on Knob Creek. And I was kind of wondering, I was worried about the 18-year-old, just wondering how it's going to be too oaky or anything, too tannic. But it was nice.
You think proofing it down to that 100 proof probably took that oak out a little bit?
Yeah, I think it probably did. My guess is, because, they put out some at 120 and their barrel proofs, or their single barrels, a lot of them are at that 120. And they proof some down to 100, but I don't know. If it was at 120, man, as warm as that was at 100, I think 120 might have been too much. But yeah, I think probably some of that oak would have come through much more so than it does at 100 proof. But that was probably my favorite bourbon from yesterday.
Wow, the Bourbon Festival this year, it seems like a little bit better with the wristbands and stuff, right?
Yeah. When last year, believe it or not, my wife and I, we both had COVID, so we didn't make it down here. We were wiped out. We were stuck at home, so I did not get to do it. The year before, of course, it was COVID and everything was virtual. So as an official podcaster, this is my first experience actually being at the Bourbon Festival.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah. I know it's crazy to say that, but it's true.
Now, what about your wife? Did she get to enjoy the VIP tent?
She did, yeah. She got to hang out with me as well, so we've had a good time.
Come on over here, Anita.
She's my designated driver, man. She's my designated driver.
So
today.
you're the DD?
Absolutely. Somebody has to get this guy home safely.
But you do get some perks out of it, right?
Well, yeah, I get to hang out with the Bourbon Life crew and see guys like you that I don't ever get to see.
Look at that, man. How good was that?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Having a good time.
Well, we'll see you two around the festival, I'm sure.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
We're here all day, and we'll be back tomorrow again, yeah, so.
And hopefully we'll get a collaboration going this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that, man. We need to, because you guys had me on your show just like 2 weeks before we actually started the whole podcast.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. You guys came over to the house and hung out. We got to have some great drinks together in the living room. So we need to do that, have you guys over, but we can do a collaborative podcast episode. We can both put it out together.
Yeah,
So that'd be
let's
great,
do
man.
it.
Yeah.
We'll see you on down to Bourbon Road.
All right. Thanks, man.
We're walking around out here, and there's so many great vendors out here, and I walk past something that I need every day, really, because I got this thick-ass goatee I look like a damn billy goat sometimes. And if you're a guy like me that has a beard or a goatee, you know how you get that dandruff, and you know how to keep that dandruff out is some beard oil, and they got Beards and Riffs Trading Company out here with a great oil, some great balm, some great cream for your beards, hair product for guys. Guys, how you doing?
Man, we're fantastic. I'm loving the festival. It's our first time here. Of course, with us being music lovers, beard lovers, bourbon lovers. I mean, where else would you want to be other than the bourbon?
No place like it, for sure.
Blast.
Now, you guys have two sexy ass beards. I gotta say, I got a little beard envy going on. You make my goatee look like a little Shetland pony to some Clydesdale or something. You know, I mean, it is two amazing beards. And is that because does your beard oil help beard growth?
Man, honestly, the biggest player into beard growth is genetics, honestly. So I'd love to tell you there's a magic formula for beard growth, but I can tell you this: if you want to grow a healthy, thick beard, treat your skin right. That's what the beard oil is all about, and protect what you're growing on your face, and that's what the balm is all about. So if you'll get into a routine with a good all-natural product like ours, you'll put yourself in the best possible scenario to grow a big beard.
Absolutely.
Now, do you guys have one with some bourbon scent in it or something?
We do.
Man, we do. I tell you, it's so we're music guys, as I mentioned earlier. So all of our themes or our labels are based around music. So we've got an octave here that's clove, vanilla, and Kentucky bourbon. And if you're in the area or you want us to ship it to you, right? We can handle all of that. And we take a lot of pride in our product because if you are a beard guy, just like you are, you've used some that you want a good beard oil that's oily, not greasy. Right?
Oh, that's definitely
big
true.
difference. So we're proud of what we got, and man, we're tickled to death. We've met some awesome people here, been super slammed, and can't wait for the rest of the festival.
Well, you definitely don't want to put your T-shirt on in the morning and have oiled your beard up.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
you look at your T-shirt, it's
That's
got
right.
oil all down
That's
it.
right, man, for sure.
Nope.
Well, guys, it's nice talking to you. I guarantee you we're going to have some listeners buy your product. Maybe we might hear from you later on down the Bourbon Road.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to, man.
Guarantee it.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Appreciate you.
Well, listeners, one of our sponsors, they have a tent here at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. He is the American badass, the American machine, a true patriot, a veteran. Chris, man, welcome back to the Bourbon Road.
Thanks for having us, man. This has been it's even better than last year. It's twice as many people, twice as much bourbon, and we're busy as can be.
Now, you doing a lot of sales?
Oh yeah. People are having a good time buying our products and having a good time sipping that good Kentucky bourbon.
Now, your art here, really, your flags, some of your other stuff is made out of bourbon barrels, right?
That's right. Yeah. So what we do is we say we find new purpose for bourbon barrels and new purpose for veterans, and we hire combat veterans to make all these products.
Yeah, I always see your videos online. I suggest people go to your Instagram or your TikTok, check out those videos. It almost bring a tear to their eye, some of them.
Yeah, some of them are pretty touching. We got a couple of combat vets in the shop that have pretty touching stories. So, so check us out on social media, check us out on the website, and we'd love to share what we have to offer.
You got your wife in here slinging some of your merchandise and stuff. Is she working hard?
Oh, yeah, she's working hard, yeah. Yeah, she's keeping all the cash in her pocket, too.
Are you letting her drink any bourbon?
Yeah, she's got bourbon slushies. She's been liking the barrel bourbon seagrass slushies.
I noticed she's walking kind of funny, so. Well, Chris, we'll see you on down to Bourbon Road.
All right, thanks, y'all.
We're walking around out here in some of the greatest furniture I've seen ever built out of bourbon barrels. Who we got with us today?
This is Rhett Baird, and I've got a company called Rhett Baird Bourbon Barrel Furniture.
Now, Rhett, man, what I like about this is there's no screws showing. It's handmade by you, right?
That's correct. What I try to do is I try to get as much old world craftsmanship as I can into these. I try to make sure the screws are not exposed. If there's a screw, I'm going to cover it up and so that you don't see it. All the wood's going to be sanded smooth. The char is going to be sanded smooth. There's 3 coats of polyurethane, outdoor spar polyurethane to cover this up. So when you sit in it, it's smooth. It's nice to the touch. You don't get any black char on your clothes, and it's great. It's made for outdoors. Come get you some.
So people aren't going to be here, right? Because this is over with really while they're listening to this. But you're going to be where? You're going to have some of your furniture where here in a week or two?
I'm going to have some at Bourbon on the Banks. It's going to be in the Bourbon Road podcast booth. So come out, take it out. If I can get there, I'm going to be there too selling it. If it's not going to be me selling it, it's going to be one of my counterparts selling it. But come out, take a look.
Folks, I'm telling you, this furniture is just a big piece of art. It'll look good on your front porch or in your house. That's how good it is. You can set it in your front room and people would enjoy it. Rhett, man, you know what we like to say, right?
See you down the Bourbon Road.
Yeah.
what I've really been enjoying lately?
Oh, you're going to tell me.
Some of that Seldom Seen Farms maple syrup that's been aged in bourbon barrels. It is absolutely delicious, not only in a cocktail, but you can cook with it, right?
You can. You absolutely can. Now, Mike, Kevin just sent me a new shipment, so I got a little bit more. And I've been making some beef jerky lately.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I know you're the meat master, but I tried my hand at it. I said, I want to make some beef jerky. And I've got a pretty decent beef jerky recipe. And it's got a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire, a little bit of, onion powder, garlic powder, those kind of things. But I always put brown sugar in it. Well, this time Kevin sent me a bottle of his granulated maple sugar.
Wow.
And I decided that I was going to substitute the maple sugar for the brown sugar. Oh, game changer. Let me tell you.
Total game changer. Huh?
Total game changer. Some of the best beef jerky you've ever had. So I'm going to make another batch here in about a week, and I'll be sure to get you some.
Man, that sounds delicious. Vivian took, and we just got an air fryer like most people got these days, right? And she took and soaked fresh pineapple in that maple syrup and then put it in the air fryer, and it kind of crisped up a little bit.
Oh, sounds good.
It was just magically delicious. And people probably wonder why we love it so much. Kevin competed in the Maple Festival last year, 2021, and he was named grand champion. That's saying something.
So Seldom Seen Farms, grand champion of the 2021 Maple Syrup Festival.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
You're going up against some heavy hitters in maple syrup. And I know we're talking about just the syrup, but, that's something to be proud of. Hats off to you, Kevin, for winning that. Kevin's also competing in a couple other competitions. Make sure you check out his website. Check out his social media on Instagram and Facebook. You won't be disappointed. If you want to buy something from him, where can they go, Jim?
You can go to seldomseenmaple.com. And Kevin and his crew, they've got a great website, very easy to navigate. They got all their products on there. You can buy their maple syrup by the bottle. You can buy it by the case. You can buy that sugar. Oh my goodness, Mike, that stuff is so good. And they've got some other gift sets there too. So you definitely want to check it out.
Well, he's also going to be in some distilleries pretty shortly here. Some distilleries that I love and I know you love. He's going to be down at Leaper's Fork. You can find a syrup down there aged in their barrels. Treaty Oak down in Dripping Spring, Texas. I was just out there. His syrup's going to be there.
Awesome.
And at Garrison Brothers in Texas, if you think you love some maple syrup, make sure you go to Garrison Brothers and pick up a bottle from them also. Kevin appreciated it. I know he loves people. You're supporting a local farmer, a local product, a small family. This is no factory place that's putting out maple syrup, right, Jim?
This is a good man doing good work.
Yeah, gotta love it. Well, make sure you check out his site, like Jim said, seldomseenmaple.com. Pick up a bottle today.
I'm just taking stills.
So we bump into Dan McGee from Michter's, the master distiller. That's what people don't realize, Dan, is that you guys are actually out here working.
Oh, we love it. Look, if it's not for the whiskey lovers, we wouldn't be Michter's. So I truly enjoy coming out here, meeting everybody, and being part of it.
Yeah, so what did you guys bring this year for the tent?
Well, we have our US 1 small batch bourbon, our US 1 single barrel Kentucky straight rye, and then we have our US 1 original sour mash, but just released. We also brought the original sour mash toasted barrel finish with us this year. So it's awesome trying where it first starts out, so that original sour mash isn't a bourbon or a rye. The grains are below that 51%. It's a very elegant whiskey, 86 proof, aged in new toasted charred American white oak barrels. Once it's fully aged, we take it from that barrel and enter it into a new toasted uncharred American white oak barrel, and just makes for a very beautiful whiskey.
No, I didn't see none of that Michter's weeded over there.
No weeded. Nice try.
I thought I would have to ask. Well, Dan, It's nice running into you. Hopefully we'll get you back on the show in 2023.
Yeah, that would be
do
awesome.
Something special. Maybe we'll just do it out at the farm instead of the distillery.
No, it'd be great. It'd give us an excuse to get out of the distillery and actually go see some other parts of Michter's and have a great time. So, thank you.
All right, we'll see you on down to Bourbon Road, Dan.
Yeah, you take care. Thanks, everybody.
So we're walking around out here. We see some people with the, what's your shirt say?
Bottom of the Barrel Bourbon Club.
Wow, where are you guys from?
Georgetown, Indiana.
Where the hell is Georgetown, Indiana at?
Just across the river, the sunny side of Louisville.
The sunny side of Louisville. I don't know if that's true or not.
It is.
Because that would be the north side. So maybe that's the shaded side.
The better side.
The better side. Oh my
Better
goodness.
side.
You guys just don't have no bourbon over there, so you have to come to Kentucky.
No, we have and we have.
I don't know who this guy sitting on the sidewalk. He had his chance to come over here.
That's my drunk husband.
Oh, okay. So how many years have you guys been coming to the festival?
What is this? The third, fourth? I came many years ago when it wasn't fenced off and everything.
It was just like a homegrown thing.
Yeah, just walk in and
now it's not, right?
Yeah, now it's crazy expensive, but it's awesome.
What's the best whiskey you've had here so far?
That Preservation Immaculata.
That's the best, huh?
Yes.
Just released today.
Yes, but I've only had like 3, but I know that'll be the best anyway.
How many has your husband had?
A lot. A lot.
Now, do you guys got a website for your club?
No, we don't have a website. We have Thirsty Thursday, and then we just got drunk and made shirts.
Oh, man.
Oh, we do. Yes, we do. We have a Facebook page.
Bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel. Check them out.
It says.
Well, this thing ain't recording photos, so.
No, you can read it. Read it. Empty glasses and drunk asses.
Empty glasses and drunk asses. That's I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we'll see you guys on down to Bourbon Road.
All right. Sounds good.
No. We'll do the best we can with
sounds of the bourbon business.
All right, this is Jim, and we're here at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and who would I run into but Ashley Barnes, the Spirit Group. She's out here slinging a little bit of E.J. Curly. How you doing today, Ashley?
I'm doing good, nice and hot, and slinging a lot of bourbon, a lot of curly.
You getting a break every now and then?
Well, sometimes I pop over to Lucky Seven's tent and stand in front of their fan for a minute.
Yeah, you do have to split your time a little bit, don't you?
I do. They have to share custody.
Well, who else do we have? We got Matt Parker, right?
Yes, I'm the president of E.J. Curly.
Matt, what a great whiskey you've got here. Mike and I have been to this booth probably 6 times now. I feel kind of guilty because we frequent this one a little too much, but we love that flavor profile you've developed here, and we really enjoy the mules you're serving up too.
Hey, thanks. The credit really goes to Ashley. I mean, she really worked on the chemistry of this project for a long time and developed something that's unique in the space, I think.
Absolutely. So we're pretty excited. We've had E.J. Curly on the show before. We look forward to bringing him on again in the future. Hopefully you'll be available. Maybe we can get you on.
We would love to sit down with you. You bet.
That would be awesome. Well, we'll see you guys down the Bourbon Road.
You bet. Thanks.
So we're in the Barrel Craft Spirits tent, and this might be the best cocktail they have here. Now, ma'am, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the bourbon slushy, and it's delicious.
Now, where are you from?
Dayton, Ohio.
This is your first bourbon festival?
This is.
And so what's the best cocktail you've had here?
This right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to make these at home?
I will, if they tell me the recipe.
If they tell you the recipe. They might have to kill you. No, seriously. I bet you they will give you the recipe. This is the first time you ever had a bourbon slushy?
This is. We don't have these in Ohio.
Well, now you're going to have them, right?
They're my favorite.
They're going to be your favorite?
Yep.
Now, what's your favorite tent here?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd say Blue Note.
Blue Note, really? You like that?
They're out of Tennessee.
Out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Another good one, I like Woodford Reserve. That's always a great one. I don't know. Barrel Craft Spirits is delicious, and I would come back for this.
All right. Well, we'll see you on down the Bourbon Road.
Works for me. Thank you.
So everybody knows that we love veterans for our podcast, being 2 veterans ourselves. And there's some veterans here. We ran into 4 of them from across the United States. Who do I got here with me?
Don Williams.
John Atkinson.
Steve Clark.
Daniel Carlton.
Now, what brought you to Kentucky besides this bourbon festival?
This was it.
That's a trick question. Right? No, I would say that this is, the bourbon is the attraction, but it's the people in this beautiful country up here. It's just amazing. Kentucky is just an amazing place, and we're just blessed to be here.
Yeah, it's really just bringing all of us together who we work together, and we're from all over the parts of the country, and we're able to come here and drink bourbon and have fun and just develop our team more. So that's what we're excited about.
Yeah, and man, just celebrate each other's service and our friendship and the brotherhood of being a service member and a veteran. That's just an added benefit.
God dang, man, you trying to get me to cry or something? Make me tear up here. You make Big Chief tear up. So what's the best distillery so far for each one of you?
If you ask the gentleman over at the limestone tent, they have that Yellowstone 101 hidden in the back. You got to ask for it. That's it for me here.
And what about you?
I like the Bardstown. That new series that they had. Awesome.
Lexington.
Yeah.
The Lexington Brewing Distillery was good.
Awesome.
Well, you guys, it's nice running into you, some fellow veterans. And you know what we like to say? We'll see you on down to Bourbon Road.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
There you go.
Last day of the Bourbon Fest, Jim. What do you think? How was it?
I think it's great. I think we got to see quite a few roadies out here. I mean, actually, a lot of roadies, a lot of listeners coming up to us. We got to wear our Bourbon Bullshitter shirts, our Bourbon Road shirts. We got to meet all of our good friends in the industry. Man, there was a lot of people there. I look back at 2018 and I think, man, this is a lot bigger than it used to be.
Yeah, everybody would wonder what this episode would be called. I would call this batch number 2 because last year we had an episode down there. So second episode from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Influencers were there in just troves, right? All the great whiskey brands that we always like to talk to, the craft distilleries out there in the field, some great merchandise there. We saw Rhett there that makes some beautiful furniture. We saw Chris Cruz, just all kinds of people from all over the nation.
All kinds of crafts, right? I mean,
yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, the VIP experience was just spot on this year. I loved it. The food was great. One of my favorite parts was Michter's breakfast that we ate this morning.
Had a candied bacon.
Yeah. You saw me go up there for seconds, didn't you?
Absolutely. It was really good. I mean, all the food there was good. Michter's really took it over the top a little bit. The VIP tent food was good too. I mean, I think in general, the food there was great. There was a bunch of food trucks for people who didn't have VIP tickets. They could still munch. Everybody was pouring great whiskeys. There was a lot of variety. Nobody brought just one expression, except if that's all they had. I mean, everybody was bringing multiple expressions and pouring them, and bottles were for sale.
Yeah, a little bit different this year, right?
Absolutely.
I really didn't see anybody that overconsumed either.
I did. I saw a few less than perfectly straight walking people, but not too much. Nobody was crazy. Nobody got out of control.
What was your favorite cocktail there?
Oh my goodness. It's probably between the bourbon slushy from Barrel Craft Spirits and the mule from EJ Curley.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with those two. Were spot on. Nice and cool. It was hot out there. We got a little bit tired today at the end, but what a great episode. Yeah, I had a great time. I know you had a great time. So where could people find us on social media, Jim?
All right, so you can find us anywhere on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Find us on TikTok. We're killing it on TikTok. Mike, you're killing it on TikTok. I'm not killing it on TikTok. But hey, we're having a great time doing all the social medias. You can also find us at our private Facebook group called the Bourbon Roadies. About 3,000 members strong, kicking it, talking about whiskey, sharing picks, sharing pours, sharing stories. It's just a great group of people. What do they got to do to be a member, Mike?
Well, what you want to do is you want to love bourbon first off. You want to be 21. You got to be 21 in the United States to drink whiskey. So go ahead, make sure you wait till you're 21. And then you got to agree to play nice because we don't tolerate any rudeness in that group. Meaning if you drink from that very bottom of the shelf like I like to do sometimes back in the day, old 10 high or very top of the shelf, Jim, you like to reach for that top shelf every once in a while.
I do. Every now and then I like to reach for the top.
Yeah. So join our group. Come in there. We have a great time. We celebrate life, celebrate whiskey, celebrate births, retirements, even family members' deaths. We'll raise a glass to that family member and say cheers.
And we do 2 shows every single week. We do a short episode on Mondays called our Craft Distillery episode, where we'll go 15 or 20 minutes. We'll highlight a single expression out of a craft distillery we think is doing it right. We'll let you know whether you should add that one to your bar or not. Then on Wednesdays, we'll do a full-length episode like today's, the mashup, or what did you call it?
Batch number 2.
Batch number 2 of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. We'll do you about an hour. We'll get 30 minutes up front. We'll take a short break. We'll do 30 minutes in the second half. We'll get you to work. We'll get you home. We do 2 shows every week, like I said. Mike, what do they have to do to make sure they don't miss one?
Well, you want to scroll up to the top of that app, hit that check sign, that plus sign, that subscribe sign. That app will let you know, hey, these 2 jokers have a show that has come out today and you need to listen to it. Then you scroll on down, hit that 5-star review, leave us some comments, because you know what I like to say. The big bad booty daddy of bourbon's going to come to your house dragging a wagon full of bourbon. We'll drink that whiskey, that Buffalo drug all night long. By the end of the night, you'll give us that 5-star review. Leave us those comments. But seriously, those comments open up doors to distilleries. It gets great whiskey into our hands, gets us into these great festivals like the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, like Bourbon on the Banks in 2 weeks that we're about to hit. It really helps us out. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, so the Kentucky Bourbon Festival is behind us. Another great year. Make sure put it on your calendar next year so you don't miss getting yourself a VIP ticket so you can go to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival again. But you don't have to wait that long to get to another one. Like Mike said, we got Bourbon on the Banks on October the 1st in Frankfort, Kentucky, right down the road from Buffalo Trace. 80 distilleries, all kinds of fun. We're going to be there with the Bourbon Road Lounge. We're going to be pouring whiskey from 2 different bars. You definitely want to show up for that. Reach out to Mike and I if you've got an idea for a show or a bottle. You can always reach us on our website. We've got a contact us page there. You can send us an email. I'm Jim at thebourbonroad.com. He's Mike at thebourbonroad.com. But like we always say, probably the best way, hit up our DMs on Instagram. I'm Jay Shannon 63.
I'm Big Bourbon Chief.
And we'll see you down
the Bourbon Road.